coach, I definitely want to make sure that he gets the opportunity to be the coach. Let me get y'all off. Let me put the thing up. What up, everybody? What up, world? Welcome to part 2 of episode 18 of the Return of Greatness. Return to Greatness, I should say. We are currently waiting. Actually, Jay phone definitely got to log in to the Fanatic Sports Podcast. There he is, the man of the hour, Forrest City High School head coach. Former pro athlete, an outstanding returner. Most importantly, we know he's a great man because he is a part of the greatest fraternity ever known to man. My brother and good friend, Reggie Swinton. Very excited to have you. Very excited to be here, man. Listen,
Hold on, man. Hold on, pause me. You said y'all part of the greatest fraternity ever. Both of you brothers got blue on. Hold on.
Hey, word, when you tell them when it's in you,
Both of you brothers
it don't
got
matter
blue.
Hey, yeah. Hey, you know what it is.
So look,
Now we got 3 of them. Yeah, we outnumbered, and now we got 3 of them on here.
Let me try to connect my Bluetooth. Give me 1 second while I connect my Bluetooth real fast.
All right, yeah, take your time, man. But yeah, man. So, but look, man, it's a blast to get to do this, man. And one of the cool things, so I was laughing with a friend of mine the other day. The internet makes the world so small, and so one thing I wanted to mention, I figured I said I might mention, I said I might leave it off, but I will admit, and so I went back, I was listening to some, it's funny because I listened to some music from 15, 20 years ago at this point that I made, and I threw Reggie Swinton's name in a song. I said I returned the favor like Reggie Swinton, and like I was so proud of myself for that one. But like we man, it's so cool. The world is so small. It brings you to so many different people. And it's a blast to get the opportunity to do this, man. So I really appreciate him jumping on. And you wasn't on here Monday night, when I was talking with Worm and Blue, man. So I just gotta say,
y'all had a great show, man. I watched. I was able to listen. I thought it was really dope.
Well, look, man. Like, so I want to say to you, like I said to Blue and Worm, man. I can't say thank you enough, man. We did what 18 episodes, so that's a little over 4 months of just rocking out, and I know, and like I told Blue, man, it was plenty of times that I was ready, like, hey, let's call it 12 episodes, let's wrap the season, let's take a break. And I know me, man, I wasn't gonna come back to it. And you were the reason why a lot of times, like, man, let me go on Monday, let me knock this out and get ready for Wednesday. So thank you, man. Thank you in front of everybody, man.
I appreciate you. Thank you. Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Thank you, man. It's kind of dope to be able to like just do this with all of y'all, man, and just be able to just have a little bit of fun. Ask a lot of questions.
You get to have a blast,
man. It's not even about like I mean, to me personally, it's not about giving sports to people. It's the fact that we have fun talking about our topics and giving it and presenting it to the people the way we're doing it.
And we get to be passionate, and that's why I call this the Fanatic Sports Podcast, because we want to be fanatic about our thing. And so it's the perfect segue right into it. So Reg, before we start anything, man, first of all, let me say thank you to you, because I hit you randomly out of the blue while you was on the live, man, and I appreciate you getting back in touch with me and jumping on here doing this with us, man. We really appreciate it.
No doubt, brother, no doubt.
So one of the first things we got to do before we can start anything else, man. So because we are the Fan Sports Podcast, the Fanatic Sports Podcast, I got to know your fan story, man. I know you played the sport. You played a lot of sports, man. You're an athletic guy. I got a highlight here that I'm gonna show you a bit about this, and I got to know about this backflip that you hit after you scored a touchdown. But being that athletic, I know you played a couple different sports, man. Tell me about one of your favorite teams and how you became a favorite fan of your favorite team.
Oh man, one of my favorite routines, man, is it's crazy because before each game, either going to a college and pros, before each game I play either one of two things. I play Kirk Franklin or Tupac.
Okay.
Or Tupac.
Okay,
Depends on how I felt that Saturday or that Sunday.
Yeah,
it was Kirk Franklin or Tupac.
Okay, all right.
And hey, it was hot and cold. And
yeah.
And as far as my favorite team, man, growing up, I was a Cowboy fan. I was the biggest Michael Irvin fan ever, man. So, in fact, I tried to pattern my game after Michael Irvin when I was in junior high school and high school, man.
Lord, this is gonna be a crazy interview.
Yeah.
So to be able to play for the Cowboys and eventually meet Michael Irvin, man, that was the highlight of my young career, early in my career.
That's what's up. So look, since you bring that up, because I got a couple different questions I'm gonna ask, and then you see we got a panel, man. And the guys are here, they're ready to rock with you. But a couple different questions. So the first question I want to ask. So as a kid, I grew up watching the Cowboys because it was always on TV. And I saw one of my favorite players off the Cowboys is actually Alvin Harper, who wore the number 80 like you did. Talk a little bit about how you got to that number. Was there anything special you had to do to be able to wear that number? Because Alvin Harper was part of some championship runs that won't be forgotten. So that as soon as I see the number that Cowboy blue at 80, that's who I think of, and it's great to see you making plays in his number.
It's crazy, man, because now you see guys wearing number 1, number 2, number 18, 19, and that's the thing. But back then when I played, if you had a team number, you were a free agent trying to make the team. Okay. And so when you made the team, you felt solidified when you got an 80s number, right?
Yeah.
And so I was number 19 when I first went to Dallas. I was 19 in the entire preseason. And they had a couple of 80 numbers available. Of course, I wanted 88.
Yeah.
Michael Irvin, but Jackie, forget Jackie last name. Jackie, he from Pine Bluff. Jackie had 88 my first year in 01. Okay. Then he got cut in the offseason, and I had a chance to get 88 in the offseason and wear Michael Irvin's number at that time. But I had such a great year my first year wearing number 80. I didn't want to mess up that good luck charm per se. So that's when the Cowboys drafted Antonio Bryant in 2002, and he became number 88. But I had a chance to get it in 2002. I just didn't. But looking back on it, I should have, man, because Michael Irvin was my dude.
Yeah. So I got a story like that. Go ahead.
I got a question, man. You played around, along with those guys and stuff like that. Talk about those big returns that you had in your first year, 2001, with the Cowboys, man. You had a really, really huge year. You kind of set the tone for punt returners and kick returners back in the day, man. What was that like?
It was crazy because I came out of nowhere. And if I can tell you the story about how it came about, so it was. If you're a Cowboy fan, then you know Jason Tucker. He was the kicker.
No, I'm not a Cowboy fan.
Okay, Jason Tucker was a return man a couple of years prior to me getting there. He was really good. And this is when I found out about how the business runs. So we in Mexico City finna play against Oakland Raiders in the preseason. We got 2 preseason games left: Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos back in Dallas. But we in Denver. I mean, we are in Mexico City, and I had a decent preseason returning, and so we out there in the pregame, getting ready, getting loose, catching the balls or whatever. So Joe Alvazano, rest in peace, our special teams coach, came out there and stood between me and Jason. Looked at Jason and said, "Hey, tonight Reggie going to handle all the return duties, and you'll be on the sideline." And I'm like, "Damn, like you told this dude this without me being like." So now when he walks off, it's me and Jason side by side, and I'm looking like, I don't know what to say to the man because he just lost his job in the pregame to me before the game.
Wow.
And so that's when I knew I had a great chance of making the team. Now, when it came down to making the team and doing the returns, I had just came out of arena football too, where everything is so fast. So my awareness was a lot quicker than most because, playing arena football, you got to be a little bit, faster in your thinking. Mm-hmm. And so when I was getting the ball, man, I was seeing things as if I was still playing arena football. So everything was still small to me.
Oh.
So I knew I had to make a lot of quick cuts, and I think that propelled me to being one of the top return men my first year. And man, my first year I think I finished up number 3 in kick return, and number 5 in kick return, and number 3 in punt return. And that's the year that me and Dante Hall and Steve Smith was all 1, 2, and 3 in punt returns, and Steve Smith actually beat me out in the Pro Bowl by 7 votes that year.
Wow.
And so I was like, if I had 7 more people to vote or 8 more people to vote, I would have got a Pro Bowl nod my first year, man. But it was special because I came out of nowhere. Nobody knew about me. And I had been cut so many times prior to making it that the Cowboys gave me a real shot to show my talents. And nobody else would. Everybody else brought me in for a camp body, but the Cowboys brought me in and gave me a chance. And sometimes in life, man, all people can ask for is a chance. And I finally got that chance, and I showed the ability that God gave me, and I made a name for myself. And it's crazy because at that point in the following training camp or in the off season, I met people like Jamie Foxx and Snoop Dogg, and they knew who I was. And even the Emmitt Smith party when he broke Walter Payton record the following year, it was big time celebrities up in there that knew me. And I was like, damn, I'm from Little Rock. This ain't supposed to be happening to me, man. But it just goes to show you that when you work hard and you do what you're supposed to do, that God gonna let your talent shine, and He did.
Man, so you talking about that, and I want to say this now. I followed the Cowboys when I was younger, but I didn't really commit as a fan. But one thing I will say about old Northside Jerry, man, he in the preseason, like you just discussed, it's so dope to see how often he'll bring in, especially like Arkansas players, but a lot of different people to give them an opportunity. Even if I think about an Arkansas kicker that he brought in, knowing he had a solidified kicker already. He brought in this guy so that he could kick all preseason, get film, and he did end up getting a job, I believe, with Jacksonville or something like that. But like you said, giving somebody that opportunity, a lot of things I disagree with Jerry on as an owner and just in general with the Cowboys, but I can always appreciate giving that opportunity. So let me ask you this, and then I'll let the fellas get to it, man. But I want to talk a little bit about, because I know I saw you go into the Kentucky Sports Hall of Fame, which has got to be big, especially from a football standpoint. But talk a little bit about your time in college at Murray State, how you kind of landed on going to Murray State, and some of the lessons you learned.
Wow, man. So, coming out of Central High School, my senior year. My senior year, we had a really bad season, 1-9, and nobody really wants a loser. And when you 1-9, people see you as a loser. And I had, at that time, I was being recruited by Washington, Miami, Tulsa. Used to be called Memphis State, now it's University of Memphis now. Just the Arkansas, and then some little school called Murray State. And at that point in time, back then it wasn't no 2-star, 3 stars. It was blue chip.
Right.
And so I was a blue chip All-American, and I wasn't studying no small school. I was trying to go to a big school and be on TV and all this kind of stuff, man. And so what happened was I passed my ACT test late.
Okay.
When I passed it late, everybody fell off of me except for Murray State. And the only thing that Murray State had left was a walk-on opportunity. So I ended up walking on at Murray State. And I tell folks all the time it was going to be Murray State or McDonald's. Nobody else wanted me. Nobody else gave me a shot. So when I got to Murray State, I'm very cocky. I've always been very confident. I talk a lot of shit, always have. If we're on the football field, I'm going to talk Noah's all game long. Even if you whooping me that game, you're not going to know you are because I'm going to talk Noah's to you. That's kind of the player I was and how I am now. And so I got to Murray State, man, and my freshman year, I was, all freshman team, fresh out of high school. And then that's when Mike Cherry transferred to Murray State from Arkansas. Okay. And we became like this modern day, I would say, Mark Brunell and Jimmy Smith type dude. You know what I mean? Like Troy and Michael Irvin. We became it. And then I had another guy named Jesse Jones, who was a great receiver as well. And so I did my thing at Murray. I was the first 1,000-yard receiver in Murray history. I'm still 2 touchdowns away from breaking the record. I may have a chance to go back and get it one day. But
hey, don't hurt your knee, man. Don't do that, man. Don't do that, man. You ran a lot. You ran a lot. Don't do that. Don't do that.
My bad. But so they
you was
sent me
over
a
in
letter
Murray
in
State with my
2010 in
cousin.
Murray State. They sent me a letter about the Hall of Fame. And that was really some separation between me and Murray State for a long time because of what happened when I played ball. So what happened was when I was with the Cowboys 01, my first year, I got to tell y'all this story to kind of set up my Hall of Fame deal.
Yeah, awesome.
So at that time in the locker room, we had 7 guys from Ohio State. This was in 02. We had Terry Glenn, Joey Galloway. We had so many guys, and they
Joey
all wearing their
Galloway?
gear.
Yeah.
Joey Galloway?
So, they're all wearing their gear in the locker room, Ohio State gear. You got Michigan gear, you got Notre Dame gear. So I want some Murray State gear. So I called Murray State. I said, hey, can y'all send me a hat, shirt, sweatshirt, something I can wear in the locker room to represent my school? And they had the nerve to tell me, well, we'll give you a 10% discount. I said, hold on. I said, it's only 2 of us in the entire league. Ohio State got 7 in the locker room. I said, this will help recruiting at Murray State. Right. So they wouldn't give me anything. So at that point, I had my first game where I started. Now y'all know how you say Reggie Swinton, the school you went to? Well, I didn't say Murray State. I said Reggie Swinton, the University of Houston Nut. My head coach. Yeah. And so they then sent me a letter in the mail asking me why come I didn't represent my institution. Wow. I never responded back. So at that point, there was some dissension between me and Murray State. So they didn't put me in the Hall of Fame for a long time because of that. Then in November of 21, the Kentucky Pro Football Hall of Fame called me and told me they were going to induct me into the Kentucky Pro Hall of the Kentucky Pro Football Hall of Fame in June of 22. So that gets out. So Murray State, they got to put me in now because the Pro Hall of Fame put me in. Right. So then all of a sudden I get a letter from Murray State saying that you will be inducted into our next Hall of Fame in November of 22. Mm-hmm. So I went into Kentucky's in 22 in June it was me, George Wilson to play for the Razorbacks. Right. I keep forgetting this dude. He just retired, man. Played with Aaron Rodgers with the receiver with the cat eyes.
Randall Cobb.
Yeah, Randall Cobb. Yeah. So it was me, Randall Cobb, George Wilson, and a couple more cats who was really, really good back in the day. And see, the qualifications for that is you had to have been from Kentucky or played 5 years in the league plus play at a college in Kentucky.
In Kentucky, okay.
So I played 5 years and I went to Murray State. So I got in that one in June, and man, that was special. And then I went and merged states in November, and I'm already in one. I got inducted back in one in 2010. The Black Hall of Fame.
So
the Black Sports Hall of Fame.
I got a crazy question, man. And I'm gonna leave it up for Antonio, Jeremy, and Blue, man. But I got a question. So you talked about like the way it was, you know, in college and how things were, and you know, the way things are now. How do you feel if you would have been given some of this NIL money or some of this NIL deals that is going around right now? How do you think you would have fitted in some of these teams, knowing you got God-given talent and knowing you could do what you could do?
I go back and forth with that, man, because I like the NIL, but I don't like it. Okay. I like the portal, but I don't like it because I think it's been abused. Yeah. And now that's the 49-year-old me. Who knows what the 19-year-old
talk
me
like
say.
you young, man. Talk like you coming out.
All right, so the 19-year-old me, I can't blame these kids for that. You know, I just know that me growing up, the only school that mattered to me was Arkansas. And you know, no, I don't care what other schools wanted me. You know, had I passed that test in time, I would have been a Razorback, no doubt, because I was a Hog from a kid. Yeah. You know, my cousins played for the Hog, because Corliss Williamson, James Rouse, and then after me, D-Mac, we all related, right?
Your cousin is Corliss Williamson?
Yeah. Yeah.
You got Corliss Williamson out there. He said Darren McFadden and James Rouse.
Otis Lloyd. Then on my mom's side, Otis Lloyd is from Stuttgart. So I had 4 cousins that played for them Hogs, and I didn't. So I was always bitter at that. But I think the NIL is being abused. And I think what I think should happen, in my opinion, and you know, I went live on this a couple nights ago. Right. So coming out of high school, I think kids should sign a 3-semester contract. Yeah. Now, I'm gonna tell you why. Because we're in this microwave deal now where if I go now and I don't play, I'm leaving. Yep. They don't want to get they so good, they don't want to get redshirted. So I say right now, you go there your first semester. Are you redshirt? Okay. Then your spring semester, you have a chance to go ball out. Then your redshirt freshman year, which is the following fall, you gonna know by the end, and that staff gonna know by the end whether you gonna work out or not. At that 3-semester deal, then both sides are, hey, they ain't gonna work out. Let's part ways. Right. Yeah. But at least give it 3 semesters. Now, if you get a big deal with that, if you choose to leave, your deal is cut off. Period. Now, with me saying that, the portal, you should only be able to go in the portal one time after your 3rd semester. Once you go in the portal, you can't go no more.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad. You know, all of us talk about it off script, man. We talk about, we'll take a school like Marshall. They had to give up their eligibility to play in a bowl game because they had nobody. What does that do to let me ask you, like, if you're that guy, what does that do to a team? What does that do to a program?
Well, the whole
when they're
team
going
left. The whole team left.
They have nothing.
It damages them, but here goes something else that's real crazy. Look at SMU quarterback. He led them the whole year to the CFB playoffs, and he in the portal. What the hell are you in the portal for? You led SMU. You should not be allowed to go in the portal.
How about Matthew Sluka from UNLV?
If you played 8 or more games you started in, and you play over half the plays in that game, you should not be allowed to go in the portal. You are abusing the portal. Then one last thing I'll say. Let's just say your son came out, okay, and he signed for $500,000. He's a big time 4-star, 5-star kid, and he signed for $500,000 to, let's say, Michigan. He goes to Michigan, and he signs that deal. Okay, you sign for $500,000. Whether it be weekly, bi-weekly, a month, however you get paid, you get $250,000 of that $500 weekly or bi-weekly, however you get paid. The other half of that should be given to you when you graduate.
Right.
That's your incentive to graduate because you ain't guaranteed to go pro, and you're gonna blow that first $250. But when you graduate, you now have a degree and something to go into the world with. You have no damn school debt.
Right. Right.
The school must hold you to that, and you must hold them to that. Okay, May 16th, I graduate. June 16th, y'all cut me a check for $250. Now I didn't go pro. I'm in the working field. I got $250 to start off with.
Right. You can start your own business. You do it. You know, I think
if
about
you don't graduate,
you
don't get that money. It gives you the incentive to graduate.
Do the right thing.
Yo, let's go ahead and shoot this to Antonio, man. Antonio got a question.
Reg, a quick question for you on that. So let me ask you, because we see these kids now, it's so many names being jumped into this portal, right? Do you think it's a level of kids no longer want to compete and be competitive no more?
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys' thoughts on that, though? Yeah.
And I give you a prime example. The one kid that's from here that went in the portal and he went out the portal, then went back in the portal and out the portal.
Awesome.
This is a story I was told. Okay,
right.
Unconfirmed, allegedly, I'm gonna use all them words.
Yeah.
Is that he was getting 125 at Arkansas. Then he was offered 175 to go somewhere else. So he took that, came back out the portal when Arkansas offered him the 175. Then somebody else came and offered him 225. He went back in the portal. Turns out that 225 wasn't real, so he came back. See, it's no loyalty. Now, again, I'm not sure if that's real, but that's what I was told about somebody who's supposed to be in the media, right? It's no loyalty at all anymore. They're not playing for the Razorbacks. They're playing for that comma. That comma.
Mm-hmm.
The University of Comma.
Yeah.
That's what all these kids playing for. And
I like that. I like that.
So Reg, man, I'm gonna ask my questions real quick and get off here. You know you played at Murray State with my cousin Ben Tron Parker, right?
That's my dog. He owed me some gas money too.
That's my cousin, man.
Pay that man his gas money.
Chill, guy. I remember when you was on Drive Time Sports talking about you had applied for the Sheridan job, and I think you had applied for the Beacon job, which I wish you got because my nephew's over there. And then you got the Forrest City job, and I'm looking at like, dang, that's probably the best place for him to be. Talk about how hard it is being at a school like Forrest City to get those kids to come out there to play football, because those are one of those towns where, I'd rather play basketball. I ain't trying to play football. How hard it is to get these guys to get out there and participate and be out there and play football, and then playing for a guy that's been to the league, has played college ball, that they can listen to and feed off of, and just be like, hey, he say I got it, I know I can do it.
Well, the one thing I'll say, and I do believe in God wholeheartedly, man. God put me in a place where we didn't have a lot of players at Forrest City when I got there, but boy, did we have talent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I walked into, all it took with them was just getting them a little discipline and to believe they could win. We hadn't won but 4 games in 4 years prior to me and my staff getting there, and no playoff berth since 2019. Got to, our first year, I can't even say first year, our first few months, made the playoffs, went 5-7, and 2 of the games that we lost came down to almost last play to 2 teams who went deep in the playoffs. They could have went either way. And the way I look at it, man, is that, we got hired in April. We had no offseason, no weights, no conditioning program. So when I got there, I asked the kids, I said, hey, have y'all been working out? Oh, yeah. The first day of spring ball, we ran 1 gasser. They was freaking throwing up.
Oh, and you got that. Yo, what he got was the, coach, we did it all season. We know we were playing all season. They get ready to play. And, hey, they ain't ready. They ain't ready to do 1 practice.
Yep. And so we had to start spring ball like 2 weeks after I got there. So we don't know the kid's name. You know, right now, hey, you. So we try to get
85.
With all the kids' names being AU. And then we had to go straight from that to 7-on-7 to teen camps, then the football season. And so within April, May, June, July, so we're playing a game within 4 months of meeting these kids and got these kids turned around, man, to where we won 3 of our last 4 games, made the playoffs, and it was a remarkable first season.
I seen you gelling at the end of the season, man. I got to get up off here. I got to go punch the clock.
Hey, real quick before Blue go, Reg, man, look, I'm gonna be hitting you back up. So Blue's got a high school sports interview show that'll be kicking off. So we definitely gonna link you up with that as well, man. But,
okay, all right, Blue.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna look forward to speaking with you on that, and also. So listen, my nephew played on your AAU team last year, the Lions. So,
okay.
10 and under. Yeah, he played on that team.
Yeah,
man. Yeah. So y'all be easy, man. I gotta go punch the clock. I'll listen.
Tell Big Bro to get us like $25 here over too.
I will.
You see about the 25 now. You can at least buy for a city and something.
So let's get Jeremy and Antonio.
So one thing I know Warren was very excited about your new quarterbacks coach. Warren, talk a little bit about Forrest City High's quarterbacks coach.
Oh yeah, man. My guy Ty, man. Man, that's a home run hire. And Reggie, I want to give you props, man, because I see what you're doing. My stepfather coached 45 years in Arkansas in high school, and the whole time that I played for my father, he was the only guy that looked like me. Mm-hmm. And I see your staff, man. You got Nichols over there with his crazy self, man. Got many stories about him. And I see what you're doing. And my boy Ty, man. Ty know what he's doing. If you ever seen his son play at Southwest High, man, you can tell, and that's the quarterbacks he is trained. So tell me how that process went to reach out to Ty and man to get him involved, man. I'm excited about your staff probably a little bit more than I am about the team itself, man, because I like what I'm seeing, man, down there. I know it's Forest City, but we used to call it Noop City. So just tell me how that process went.
Oh yeah, it's still called Noops. There's so many Noops down there. But actually, when I got the job, if you go on YouTube and you watch my very first video of me addressing the team, you'll hear me mention Ty Forte Dane as one of the coaches. He was supposed to be coming with us initially, and he was letting Chase make a decision. Do he want to come to Forest City for his last year or play his last year at Southwest? And so he said Chase wanted to play his last year at Southwest, and I could respect that, So he said, "Hey man, save me a spot." And of course I said, "Yeah, man, sure, sure." But I was still new as a new high school coach, so I didn't know how things really worked. So when it came down to it, he kept asking me all season long, "Man, you got me a spot?" And of course I'm saying, "Yeah, but I don't really know if I do or not." Mm-hmm. And so when they called me about a couple of jobs being open, and I could hire me a football coach. So Ty was the first person I called because he wanted to come. And so we made the phone call, got the interview set up with the administration. They loved him. And so we got him hired. We knew 3 weeks prior to him getting hired. We knew 3 weeks prior to me making the announcement. We had to wait till the board meeting on December 19th for them to vote him in. Once they voted him in, that's when I went public with it that night after the board meeting. And we're super excited, man, because I got 2 outstanding quarterbacks down there. One of them is a 6'5", 205-pound. He'll be a junior. Got a rocket arm, man. He started some games for me this past year. But then I got a 10th grader coming up. He'll be a sophomore. He's going to compete with that junior because this kid here is a Lamar Jackson. He can throw that thing on a dime. He can run like lightning, man. So it's wide open right now. My guy who's been there has an upper hand because he plays some. But no position is safe with me. I'm all about competition and winning. And I think when you let kids know this is your job, they don't work as hard. And so
Yes,
like
sir.
every day, and I change guys out all year long. I let guys know every single day, your job ain't secure. And there's seniors I replaced with sophomores during the season. Because you got to learn that in life, you got to work for everything you get. It ain't gonna be given to you, and that made them guys compete every day to where we got better. But having Ty to now work with the quarterbacks can let me focus on my linemen now and get my linemen right, so I ain't got to coach linemen and quarterbacks.
Protecting quarterbacks. That's
Yo,
Yes.
Reg, I got a question, man. You know, you over here talking about high school, and you know, you being a high school coach. How has your development as an actual NFL player been able to transcend that mentality into an actual high school coach? And what do you tell your players as a high school coach? What are you telling them? Because, you know, you get a lot of guys that, you know, when they first come in, the first thing they think is, oh, man, I need to make that NFL. My dream is, you know, like, you know, you get some coaches that want to teach them certain ways of how to be men. And then you get some guys that want to teach them how to be other men, you know, in different aspects of their athletic career. What are you teaching these guys? Like, you know, what are you teaching them to stay honest and stay on the path?
Man, I don't even like drive my kids towards pro football. You know, I drive my kids towards life. Like right now, during football season, every Wednesday, my kids got to dress up in a polo shirt or a shirt and tie with some nice pants on that's going to be tucked in. Once a week, I put my guys in the mind frame of the working field. Because, man, realistically, nobody or maybe one has a chance of going pro there. But all of them got a chance of going pro at life. And so I teach them how to go pro at life as opposed to going pro at football. It takes a very lucky person to really go pro. I mean, I was cut by 6 football teams prior to me making it in Dallas. 6 teams told me I wasn't good enough. And so, you know, the next person might not have that same drive I have. So my drive to succeed, it outweighs my drive to just sit here and do nothing, if that makes sense.
No, totally. No, it makes a lot of sense.
Man, life is so messed up for us black brothers. Yeah. Life is so messed up. And my team is all black. I don't have anybody else on my team but all black boys. And so, kind of jumping subject real fast. Yeah, there's a couple of more jobs open right now here in Central Arkansas, and people ask me, am I going to apply for them? And my answer is no, because I've got unfinished business with my young black males in Forrest City.
Man, I love that.
For me to come in there,
that's so dope. That's so dope. Like,
for me to come in there for 8 or 9 months, help turn them kids' life around, tell them kids I love you, hug them kids, feed them kids, and then turn around and dip on them kids.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like,
it made it seem like it was a lot. It made it seem like it was a lot.
You know, I'm like a deadbeat daddy at that point. You know, come in, show up, and leave. And so I don't want to give that image off to them, man. But then talking about the football aspect of, you asked me how did I go pro and how that connect to everything. If they asked me in my interview, said, what system you run? And I told them, I said, honestly, I can't tell you that, because if I tell you I run this system and then y'all hire me in Forrest City and I get there and don't have the players to run that system, I'm in trouble. Right. So he said, well, what do you do? I said, well, I have several systems I run, but I base that system based off of my talent level. You can't have a throwing quarterback and run the ball all the time. You can't have you can't throw the ball all the time with no quarterback. Right. So as you've seen this year, my game plan changed up almost every freaking week because I played 3 quarterbacks. Okay. And each one of them had a different strength. So the game plan was catered around their strengths. Yeah. So I don't have a set offense I run. I run based off of my talent level. And I think that's why I have success, because you got some coaches who are stuck on running this system. I don't care if I don't have Emmitt Smith. I don't have Barry. This is my system. And you're going to force a kid to be a running back who's not a running back. And then you wonder why.
Do you believe a lot of that has to do honestly, do you believe a lot of that has to deal with, especially in the college atmosphere? Do you believe that has a lot to do with the actual town you're in or the money that you're getting, especially with the NIL? You're getting a lot of the NIL in different areas. Do you believe that it has a lot to do with it, or do you believe that just guys just don't know how to coach? Because at the end of the day, you seem like you know how to coach, and you're coaching guys the way they need to be coached. But you get some guys that don't know how to coach and they're just all about winning in high school. And I'm just asking. And the reason why I'm
Well,
asking is I'm from New York, man. I don't know nothing about high school football at all. I don't know nothing about high school football, especially in Arkansas. I only know from what these guys have told me and what they talk about, and then I go and research. Um, and I look at some of these guys coming out of high school, going into the college atmosphere, then trying to elevate their game going into the NFL. And the mentality you're trying to preach is, look, man, it's a man's game. This is what we're gonna do. You're still gonna be a man. We're gonna treat men first, school first, athleticism, and being an athlete is second, which is great. They don't teach that no more. Like,
man, so I had a father, a stepfather, and I got 5 uncles that all made sure that I was a man. They would knock my ass up and down the street if I did something messed up. A lot of the kids don't have that. And then when you're talking about the actual football part of it, and you ask me, where do I get this from? Well, now I played for Bill Parcells. I played for Mike Humphrey. I played for Tom Coughlin. I played for Denny Green. I played for Steve Mariucci. For Houston Nutt. For Dome Capers. So you take all them guys I've been around, I take something from this person, something from here, put that all into me. That's why I have so many offenses in my head.
Okay.
And I can make the adjustment with each quarterback or each team that I coach because, I could pull this from Mike Holmgren. I could pull that from Denny Green.
Right.
That from Houston Nutt. Depends on the situation. So I think that's the advantage I have over some of the coaches that's only been in 1 or 2 systems. That's all they know. And I give you a parallelism to that right there is that I can't teach you how to drive an 18-wheeler.
Right.
Because I ain't never drove one.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't never drove one. So I'm going to get in that truck and mess it up, then teach you how to mess it up. Then you're going to teach him how to mess it up, and it's a messed up system. But if I learn from somebody who know what they're doing, and I pick up that, then learn from this person, know what they're doing, now I got 4 or 5 ways I can drive that truck. And I ain't got to drive it one way. You see what I'm saying? So that's the advantage I have is that I've been around so many great minds, and I put everything into one little sack, and I shake it up, and bam, it's what I have.
Yeah.
Reg, I want to ask you a question about that too, because you mentioned out a key word there, adjustment, right? And so to your point, you've been around so many great coaches. You take a little bit of here and there, and you can mold it into what you want to be and still adjust your game accordingly to what the kid is. As you look at some of these other coaches, let's say on the collegiate level now, and even at on NFL level, when they are struggling to adapt their game and adapt and basically change to accommodate the kid or the coach or the player, like, do you think that's just them as a coach being stuck in their ways and refusing to adapt with change, or what are your thoughts on that? Because
in the pros, man, now in the pros, all they do is watch film, and that's why I don't think I could ever be a coach in the pros, because the coaches are there from damn near 6 a.m. to 8 at night every day during the season. No family time, so they break down everything. They break down how your stance is. If your foot is this far up, that was back, then that's going to be cover 2. If it's right even, it's cover 3. It's all broken down. So now it's about really playing chess. Like, make the right call versus that offense or defense. It's all the same. But in the pros, man, I'm going to tell you something. if the players do not believe in the coach, it would not be a successful season. And I've been around there because when I was with the Cardinals,
I was gonna say Cowboys, but
well, our
I
special
was gonna
teams
say,
coach.
I mean, you know what I mean? If you played again, you know what I mean? I think you look, honestly, I'm looking at the stats. I think you probably were, you know, the only successful Cowboy on that team. But,
Well,
you know,
look,
I'm over
so
here talking because, you know, I'm a Washington fan and you played against Cam Bailey. So I just wanted to talk my shit and throw that out there real quick. Excuse my language.
well, I'm gonna tell you, now I'm gonna tell you one Redskin who know my name and know it well.
There we go.
Hey, Fred Smoot know me because I tortured Fred Smoot.
I bet. You laid his ass out. Hey, you laid his ass out.
Hey, but going back to what you asked me about the whole coaching thing,
right?
Is our special teams coach with the Cardinals, man. He brought me in because he was in Detroit with me and he liked me. And he brought me in, but he did such a bad job on special teams with the Cardinals. The team didn't believe in his scheme. Therefore, it got me killed at the return game because they wouldn't block because I was getting my ass knocked out. And I remember we had 2 weeks left in the season. We came into the meeting and we knew he was getting fired. And all the players kept saying, dead man walking, dead man walking. They had no respect for him. And how do I feel as a return man knowing we got 2 more games left? These Negroes ain't finna block no damn body, and I'm the recipient of it. So in the very last game of that year, which was on January the 1st, against the Colts, against Peyton Manning and them, they took me out of the game in the second quarter because they kept scoring on us. And on every kick return, I go to the sideline. Because I knew I wasn't getting no blocks. Mm-hmm. This is the last game of the year. Free agent gonna be in March. You ain't gonna get me hurt in my last game with the car. So I kept getting the ball, going right to the sideline. So I got yanked in the second quarter of that game because the players didn't believe in the coach. That's how it is. If the players believe in you, they'll fight to the death for you. If they don't, you're gonna have a losing season.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. Yo, I'm sorry. I love every single member on this panel. Yo, I love Blanca, Jeremy, Antonio. Yo, this is where I see it, man. Antonio, you above me. Jeremy, you to the left of me. You over there. One of the two. You right there. Yeah, you right there. Blanca, you right there. Yo, you said something that just sparked my interest, and I think all of us up here believe this. You said if the team isn't following each other, then it's a downfall situation. Pretty much, right?
Yeah.
In today's game, how do you think these prima donnas would fit in your era of football?
They're too soft-minded. Yeah. See, you can't curse these players out anymore. You can't grab face masks. Be a part of Coughlin, man. They would yank us around. We understood authority.
Right.
This generation, from these players now and down, they don't understand authority. And for the most part, 60% of your team is getting paid more than the coaches.
Yeah.
And that's why you saw with the Kings, with the Kings, how Mike Brown got fired because the players were first.
Yep.
The players know that, coach, you a casualty before I am.
Right.
So the coach got to make the players happy, and that's not fair.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. He said that. Yo, Jeremy, I think you had a question.
Yeah. Well, Coach Reggie, man, I'm still on this high school thing, so I'm a big high school football guy. Man, looking at I followed your team, and so I see. I know y'all record was 5-7 or something like that. Man, y'all in like 3 games. If y'all could have pulled it off, it was the Hubert Springs game, the Southside game, and it was another game. I don't remember what game it was, but was it Rivercrest? Maybe
we beat them. Rivercrest, okay. We beat them.
Okay.
Win.
Win. Yep.
Win City?
Yeah.
Well, so the Heber Springs game, had we won that game, that would have gave us third seed in the playoff and a home game.
Right.
We were down 28-6 in the first quarter. We came back in the fourth quarter, took the lead, 46-42. It's 14 seconds in the game left. They threw a Hail Mary and caught it.
Oh, man.
We won the game.
Yeah.
The Batesville Southside game, we were down big, came back in that one. And we were 1 for 6 on going for 2 because I ain't got a kicker.
Yeah.
So we had to go for 2. Had we got one more extra point or one more, I would have won that game by 1 point.
Yeah.
We lost that point. And then with Win, we came back and we were down by 6 points. We stopped them, made them punt, and then my punt was trying to fumble the ball. And they scored, and they killed our whole thunder right there. But what's crazy is 4 of the coaches called me in the last month and a half. 4 of them called me. They all are hoping I take one of these jobs to Little Rock. They basically said, I can read you a text right now.
Yeah.
Said that what you did in a short amount of time, that you did it, said 4A is in trouble because now you got a whole year with these kids. And, you know, I got transfers coming in now.
Yeah.
Right.
So
they try to get my black ass out of there. Right?
That's kind of like, hey, what you doing on New Year's? My black ass home.
Yeah, so you know, I played for Nashville, so I'm familiar with that 4A.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm familiar with that 4A, and you over there in a pretty good area too. I have a cousin. He coaches for West Memphis. I tell him all the time, joking around. You know, in West Memphis, you throw a rock on I-55, you're gonna hit a D1 recruit.
Yeah.
It's like you throw a rock, man, you're gonna land on one. And you're kind of in that area, so you know you got Wynn, you got back when I played, man, Brinkley had pretty good guys. So you're in a pretty good area, man. I think, man, you own to something, to be transparent, man. And again, man, Coach Reggie, I appreciate you coming on, and I appreciate what you're doing for those kids down there in Forrest City. And Forrest City has some athletes. Now I didn't know about them in football, but I went to school with a couple of and so that's another thing too. Getting the kids out, man. Getting the kids out to play football. You're gonna have some. You got those recruits coming. You got those. I guess the high school portal's open, so you get some of those kids too. Man, you're gonna be on to something.
Yeah, we just got one that just came in. He's already in Forrest City. I can say it now. He's a 6'4" receiver.
Oh my!
Just transferred in. He's already in Forrest City. He sent me a picture on this morning of him working out.
Already.
So his mama has an apartment already, and he's gonna be a senior, 6'4". Throw it up to him, Randy Moss Jr.
Yeah.
Go get it. Yeah, get up, go get it. Hey, Tone, let's start the last round of questions, man. Tone, you got one more thing, anything, last thing for Coach Swinton?
Yeah, I do, because Reg, I follow you on Facebook, man, on the book, and I see how you be putting highlights of your kids out there, which I really like. That's a great thing. I want to ask you about you got an old lineman that I think you pictured highlighted a few weeks ago out there. It looked like that kid is going to be something special when you was talking about it. What you think about your old line play coming back as a whole for next year?
Well, that's our weak spot right now. We're young now, so I lost 4 of the 5.
Okay.
I had 4 senior starters, so I got my center back, and he started as a sophomore and junior, so he'll be a senior. Now I got some big bodies coming back. I got some work to do, but I can promise you this right here. And I told y'all earlier, I'm cocky. I'm a confident dude.
Yeah.
If I can get
I love it.
them young guys up front block, I got the best running back in the state. Hands down, Kevin Young Jr. is the best tailback in the state of Arkansas. I got him offer already to Kansas, to Kansas State, K-State, Arkansas State, then my school, Murray State, and UAPB. He finna get an offer, I think, from Missouri and NC State. And I told my kids, if y'all ball, I'll make the call. You know, if y'all ball, I'll call. That's my whole thing is a lot of coaches are coaching for a ring. I'm coaching for these kids' dreams. And so if They ball now, and I told the parents, don't come ask me about your son getting no scholarship if he ain't playing for me right now. He's on the sideline. But if your son is balling, I'm gonna make the call. Now, what's hurting these kids now is this new JUCO rule and their portal. But if they
that
ball,
only
I'll
just
do my job.
that only came just like recently. What was it, like 3 weeks ago? You bring that up. I gotta ask, how do you think that affects the kids coming, trying to, go from JUCO to college, and how do you think this affects, man? You played
Big
a
time.
lot of years.
Big time. I talked to a daddy yesterday whose son, the starting quarterback at Joe T. Robinson, he got a couple of D2 and D3 offers, and he said now with this new rule, I'm gonna send my son to JUCO. And I said that's smart, Dan, because now he can go to JUCO, play 2 years, reprove himself, and come out and get a Power 5 offer and get some money. So then he can go there, and he's qualified to even go to a Power 5 now. So he ain't got to stay 2 years at a JUCO. So if he goes there and plays well 1 year, he can leave and go somewhere else. But worst case scenario, he can go there and play 2 years, go to a 4-year school and play 4 years, play 6 years in college ball. That's crazy.
Wow, that is wow.
Jeremy, what's your question? Anybody? Antonio? I got one, man. If we're gonna end it, man, but I really hope we don't, because I got a lot of shit talking to do with the Cowboy players. A lot of shit talking to do. So I'm gonna let one of y'all go ahead before I answer, ask this question, because I'm gonna be the angry Puerto Rican, and I'm gonna talk my motherfucking shit. So
Man, I'm good, man. Like I said, man, I was curious about how the high school thing work, and like I said, I see what you're doing, man, and I respect it to the utmost on my end. So, Tone, I'm gonna kick it to you.
Oh no, I'm actually good, man. I got my question in the Reg and just a few minutes ago. But yeah, just kind of echo the sentiments that Jeremy just put out. Man, big time ups what you're doing, bro. Like I said, I've definitely been following you with what you're doing with the Arkansas Lions and that program, and then definitely what you're doing at Forrest City, bro. So mad respect, big time ups, man. Big time props to you, bro, for sure.
So look, man, I
got two questions.
Okay,
I got two questions. One is a statement. The other one is a question. This has and honestly, this has nothing to do with the NFL. It's crazy. You're a Forrest City head coach. If you had an opportunity to tell your younger self something, if you had an opportunity to tell your younger self something, what you know now at 49 years old, you had an opportunity to tell your younger self, what are you telling yourself?
To get my degree while I was in school. I went to school for the wrong reasons. I went to school for football, females, football.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I
didn't go to school.
I told my mom the same thing. Yeah.
And so I got my degree in July of 22.
Okay.
And that allowed me.
At least you still went back though.
Yeah, but I went back. So my life has been set back.
Right.
By not having that piece of paper that they want you to get. So I don't need no piece of paper to tell me how to coach football, because I know football. But they wanted me to have that piece of paper so I could coach my young black boys.
Yeah.
So I could have been done this a long time ago, but I didn't have my degree. So I tell my kids now, that's important. My son is sitting right here right now at UCA, and my wife is right here right now getting her doctorate degree. That's important, but I never realized that until like maybe 6-7 years ago. I never thought I'd need it because I was successful in life, I thought. But now that I got my degree, my younger self would say, man, take care of your business while you're at school while it's free. Luckily now, the NFL still pays for all my schooling, so I ain't got to pay no money for it. They pay for it 100%. But everybody doesn't have that luxury of going pro and having that $1 billion business behind you still pushing you.
Right. You're absolutely right.
So my other question.
Take care of school.
My other question, and it's not even a question, I'm gonna state a name. You're not far from him. He's the 2025 quarterback of the year, number 1 in Arkansas. Just got Gatorade Player of the Year. Kane Archer. Some of your thoughts.
Kane is so Kane played in my All-Star game when he was 10 years old. Then Kane played for my travel team when he was 11 years old. Kane has been that guy since I met him. He's been different, man. Kane has it. God don't give everybody it.
Yeah.
God gives some people just it, but not the it. Right? God gave me the it. He didn't give me the it. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not afraid of saying that. Kane has it, man. And that kid is different. Now he's gonna get one of the biggest deals out there because
depending on where he goes, and seeing where a lot of these these fanatics, we like to call them, but seeing how these fanatics like to get on and comment on Razorback Nation and things like that on where he's going, and his dad has said numerous times, Cash and Kane are not package deals. Cash is gonna go where he wants to go. Kane's gonna go where he wants to go.
Cash going to UCA.
Yeah, and that's one thing I love about that. I'm so happy for Cash to be able to be that linebacker. He switched from DN, and moved into a linebacker this past year and showcased unbelievable speed off the line. And it's just being able to see what Kane has been able to do. Those Archer boys, they're gonna represent Arkansas to its fullest, and I'm looking forward to it. I hope they represent him, 100% to its fullest, because I don't think it's very rare you see kids with this talent and stick with it. Some of them get a lot of, this shit, excuse my language, a lot of the stuff in their head. I got to go do this. I got to go do that. They got good parenting. Both Cash and Kane got good parenting from Adam. I think they're going to go a long way, and I really think they're going to represent Arkansas to its fullest. I think those are two players we should look out for in the future. But it's crazy to think you played and you had to go through this, but you didn't get an opportunity to get that NIL, that stuff that you went through. Like, it's crazy, man. Like, you got cut 6 times, man. You said you got cut 6 times.
Yeah, 9 times total, but 6 times.
To be able to tell people, hey, man, to be able to tell people, I did this, and you can't say shit to me. That has to be that. And you said you a cocky man. That has to put a smile on your face. Sorry, and I'm not even talking shit if you being a Cowboy or not. I just think it's amazing for a man of your talents to come up from your roots and do what you did. That is amazing.
Appreciate it, man. I'm gonna show you a picture. I'm gonna show you a picture real fast. You might like this picture. Let me show you a picture real fast. I hope it shows up. That's me and Daryl Green covering me.
Daryl Green?
The old man.
Daryl Green covering me, yeah.
You had Daryl Green right there?
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, we like that, man.
No, I know who it is, man. You ain't tell me. I know who Daryl Green is.
Well, look,
I know
man.
who Daryl Green is.
So look, Coach, man. I can't say thank you enough again for your time. I know we said we do an hour, and look, we'll be definitely rooting for you this fall, and all throughout, man. Before I go, let me send a shout out. My aunt was telling me when I told her about you joining, she said, "Hey, such good things to say about you." Her sons, Jordan and Jalen Harris, played for your AAU team as well.
What's her name?
So Jordan, her name's Melena.
Yeah.
Hey man, big runs in the family around here, brother. So
my baby's there, Jordan Big Baby, Jalen. I call him Big Baby.
Yeah, that's right. Well, look, man,
thank
you for your time, bro.
Real quick. I know we about to get off, and I'm sorry, man. I'm just, I'm so so enveloped with your story,
You see the
man.
thing coming off his head.
Man.
Hey, I'm good.
I'm
No, I'm
always,
good,
yo,
man. Go
look,
ahead. I'm
man, if you
good.
look, man, there's an angry sign, man. I'm always I want to ask you real quick before we go, because I think we all want to know who was your toughest matchup in the NFL and who was your easiest matchup in the NFL?
Al Harris, toughest.
Al Harris, I ain't heard that name forever. Wow.
Al Harris, he's now the secondary coach for the Cowboys, but he played for Green Bay and played for the Eagles when I played against him. And Al Harris was by far the toughest player, the roughest player, the dirtiest player. Him and Rodney Harrison. For that. On the contrast to that, a guy who I played against several times and I did well against him was Charles Woodson. Charles Woodson.
What?
Woodson, yeah. In fact, I scored on Charles
way,
Woodson.
man. Stop.
Yeah.
Bro, I got a picture in my phone right now of me scoring on Charles
He got the
Woodson.
facts. He got the facts. He got the receipts for you.
Hey, there's a picture in my phone right now of me scoring on Charles Woodson.
That's what's up, man.
Yo.
Blocker, we got to put that as a thumbnail. It got to be the thumbnail.
Oh, we got to. He's got to put that up. He's got to put it up, man. He's got to put it up, and that's got to be a thumbnail right there.
So that's me and Andre Johnson right there. I had just seen me slamming the ball against the wall. Charles Woodson had just stepped out of the frame right there. That's me. But I had just scored on Charles Woodson.
So we got Charles Woodson on here, man. Would you actually tell him straight up?
Legendary.
Hey man, you were the easiest quarterback I went against.
Well, here's the thing. I wouldn't say Charles was the easiest. Charles just picked and chose when he was going to play hard.
Yeah.
And he didn't take me serious because I wasn't a big name guy.
Oh, so you went hard 120% every single time, and that's what I think.
I had to because I was a 1-year contract
you being a great head coach.
Right.
I had to because I was a 1-year contract guy. Charles was set for life. I wasn't.
I heard that.
Facts.
Right. Well, hey man, again, we gonna wrap it up, bro. Thank you so much again for your time, man.
Yes, sir.
Love the conversation. Look forward to much more. And I know you got a lot of success on the horizon, so we're gonna definitely be following closely, man. As I always say here on the Fanatic Sports Podcast, tough times don't last, tough people do, man. Thank y'all again for joining us.
All right,
Go
peace, fellas.
Oh man.